All right, welcome back to another edition of Economic News. We're gonna get started for today. I'm gonna hit you with one that's big. All right, the U.S. It's from the U.S. From the U.S. Security Exchange Commission. All right, the statement of departure of the Commissioner of the SEC, the Security Exchange Commission, Allison Herren Lee. I could butcher that. Just let me know in the comment section. All right, they give a brief statement. I want to thank Allison Herren Lee for her tireless work and commitment to the Commission and its mission. Her public service has already been marked by her humility, thoughtfulness, and dedication to investors and our markets. All right, we have been fortunate to have her as a colleague. All right, this is one thing they're getting into. All right, we're seeing a major departure of some big wigs in the finance industry. All right, this is a part of the central government of the United States. All right, she's departing. We're going to see who takes her place, but this is one big news that we wanted to bring you. Okay, all right, so get the story out. Let everybody know what's going on, and let me know what you think about it in the comment section. All right, again, this is from the SEC.gov website. All right, this is the official website, SEC.gov. All right, SEC Commissioner has resigned. All right, and then we're gonna hit you up with this next story here. Things ain't getting any easier. Sorry about that. I get the camera back down a little bit. All right, sorry about that. All right, Scoot. I'm sorry, get the camera over a little bit. All right, sorry about that. All right, here we go right here. All right, the RBI aiming to that's the Royal Bank of India aiming to de-dollarize. All right, like I said, sorry about that. The Royal Bank of India aiming to de-dollarize global trade and the Indian economy. All right, here we go. We see this time and time again that the U.S. economy is headed for a financial crash. Mainly reason why, because all those U.S. dollars all overseas, those greenbacks, they're now coming back to the U.S. as people don't want them anymore. They're telling us flat out, to heck with your dollar. You can take your greenbacks and you know what you do with them. And they're now flying back here to the U.S. at a rapid rate. That's why you're probably seeing an increase in so much around the world, or so much of our products, everything else, because all those cheap dollars, they're now coming back here. And all right, and as we say in this channel time and time again, we're being forced to go to a domestic U.S. dollar only. Nobody wants our money, and they're flat out rejecting it in the form of precious metals. All right, so let's get into this story a little bit here. All right, it says New Delhi, the RMB is aiming to de-dollarize global trade and the Indian economy. Matila Oswai Financial Services said in a report. If I butcher that, folks in India, please let me know how to pronounce it. I'm really sorry about that one. All right. In another move aimed at supporting the currency, the RBI allowed international trade settlement in the Indian rupee on Monday. All right, at INR. All right, in order to promote growth in global trade with the emphasis on exports from India and to support the increasing interest in the global trading community. All right, the NRI. All right, and it has been decided to place an additional arrangement on invoicing, payments, and settlement exports and imports NRI that the press release issued by the RMBI stated. All right, hold on, my dogs are barking. Right. So as we see here in the story, many nations, not just China, not just Russia, not just some other countries, everybody's getting heavily invested on giving the U.S. dollar, the bird, and telling us to go figure things out on our own. All right. So go and get this story here. This is from auto.economictimes.indiatimes.com. All right. It's a long title, but I say it again. auto.economictimes.indiatimes.com. All right, get this story out. Let everybody know what's going on, and that more and more countries around the world have go ahead and say they're going to de-dollarize the world. All right, so now all these dollars are going to come back to the U.S., and then we're going to see inflation skyrocket. All right, because all that currency is flooding back, which means it doesn't mean anything to have so much money around in your bank, around in your pocket, in your hands. All right. And then we got this other article here. This is from ZeroHedge.com, and this is what's currently going on in China right now. We're getting reports that the Chinese people have kind of had enough, and they've went ahead and they've had it, and when people lose it, they lose it. All right. China on the verge of violent jet Jubilee as disgruntled homebuyers refuse to pay their mortgage after seeing the world's largest real estate company, Evergrande, going bankrupt in a default mode. All right, they're insolvent. Many homeowners said, okay, they've been screwed over, and they've been still forced to pay their mortgages, and some of them can't even pay it, even though these companies who gave these bad loans, these predatory loans, have all gone bust, and they're still forced to pay it, lose their homes. All right, and it's a little bit a shot in this article, a little shot here in the U.S. All right, but we'll go ahead and get into it. All right. while the U.S. snowflakes are all too happy to talk the talk, which remains free even despite Biden's hyperinflation. The Chinese residents are increasingly walking the walk. All right. First, it was the violent outcry against mandatory, the malt liquor virus that put an end to the Beijing's desire to forcibly, stick their Beijing residents just in 48 hours. All right. But get into the story a little bit though. That's a little bit shocking. All right. All right, so I'm going to skip down a little bit, all right? And now as grassroots have pushed for what it appears to be a debt jubilee as millions of homeowners suddenly stop paying their mortgages, a shocking wave that has sent shockwaves across China's capital markets and has sparked panic in China's political leadership circles. All right, so the Chinese people have had it. You can get more and more into this article right here. Their mortgage companies around China have gone bankrupt, including the largest one, Evergrande, in default. Evergrande has actually been pulled from the U.S. financial markets. All right, they've been delisted and then removed. You probably haven't heard about that one in your MSM, but go ahead and get this article out. Remember, this is from zerohedge.com. All right, zerohedge.com. All right. They've actually said the heck with this, and they went ahead and said we're not paying our mortgages no more. Maybe we can get that here rolling in the U.S. All right, so get this article out from zerohedge.com. Right. All right, and then we got another big financial news going on. This is from the globalandmail.com, all right, the globalandmail.com. 12 countries on the cusp of debt crisis. All right, this has been brewing all over. You've been hearing about Sri Lanka. They're the main big ones in the world right now. We're talking about that one. But you don't hear much about Lebanon because Lebanon is in a full-on blackout mode. They've gone total dark coverage of Lebanon. Lebanon is in the midst of a full-blown economic crisis. The people have taken to the streets and everything else is going on, all right? So you got Sri Lanka, Russia, Suriname, Zambia are already in default. Belarus is on the brink, and at least a dozen other countries are in the danger zone. All right, with rising borrowing costs, inflation, and all the debt stokes fear an economic collapse. All right, so we got major countries right here. People think some of these just third world countries, but you got some major countries in the world too. All right, so here you got Argentina, of course. They've been in dire economic straits from far back as far as the Falkland Wars between Argentina and England. All right, they tried to get it together, but it ain't working out. Ukraine, Tunisia, Ghana, Egypt, Kenya, Ethiopia, El Salvador, Pakistan, Belarus, Ecuador, Nigeria are all in default mode. All right, they either came in default mode or they're about to go in flat out default mode. All right, and default on their loans, they can't pay anything back. Many of them have screaming to the IMF to come give them a bailout. But the IMF seems to be caught between a neck and a rock and a hard place. Many of these they might be getting tapped out as well, having to give all these bailouts. Whoever gives the IMF money is probably gonna have to go back to that entity or those people saying, "Can you give us some more money?" All right, so we can give it to these countries. All right. So we got nations around the world that are going into flat out default mode, all right, or already in default. They can't pay their loans back. They're insolvent. All right, so go and get this article. This is from theglobeandmail.com, all right, theglobeandmail.com. All right, and then for our final article for today, we're going to go ahead and get you caught up a little bit on this one right here. This is from, all right, the news.cgtn.com, all right, news.cgtn.com. All right, and a big one here, the IMF. Then the IMF is the International Monetary Fund downgrades global forecast for 2022 to 3.6%. All right. So look at here. We got, and they went ahead and said we downgrading everything around the world. Of course, if you get into article over here, the same old, the Russia-Ukraine conflict. That seems to be the talking point where everybody wants to say, no matter what they go around to, they're always going to come back to that war in Ukraine. They're using that as an excuse for saying everything. But let's take a look at it. If you get more and more depth, you see the IMF is stuck between a rock and a hard place, and they're now having to tell flat out that the global outlook for the year 2022 and even possible into 2023 is actually downgraded. All right. So most of this news is coming as a shock to most people. But if you've been paying attention around the world, the economic situation around the world is at a critical point. Many nations have defaulted. Many of the people have become outright violent. They're fighting back against the government, which they can blame for their failed monetary policies. All right. So go and get this article out. This is from cgtn.com. All right. News.cgtn.com. All right. Let us know what you think in the comment section. All right. But like we said, like we want to thank you for joining us. This Montgomery News. We got news around the world. We got the Security and Exchange Commission has resigned here in the U.S. We got India, along with other countries, de-dollarizing the world globe. China's not immune to it. They're on the verge of a debt jubilee. We got multiple dozen countries threatening either already in default or threatening to be in default. And here we got the International Monetary Fund. They're saying they've downgraded the 2022 financial situation of the world. All right. So things are getting hot and heavy. Get you safe. Protect yourself. All right. So with that being said, we want to thank you for joining us in another edition of Montgomery News. Please be safe, be sound. Remember, take care of yourself first, then your family, then your community, then your neighbors, then your community. All right. Once again, thank you for joining another edition of Montgomery News. Be safe, be sound. Remember, you're your own best banker, your own best credit union, your own best savings and loans. You're your own best financier. Once again, thank you. Let's get it started.